Or I mean, if you want it to be college football related, uh, I mean you could do that. When I send it to you in 2 seconds. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Oh, oh no, I got it. Give me 2 seconds. I got another one. This might be bigger. This is a lot bigger. Fuck. God damn it. I hope Cole. I think I hope I hope Colby didn't fucking fall asleep, which I think he did. God damn it. It's okay. Dude, if you, dude, you're fucking gonna annoy me. You're arguing with me when I literally can, dude. It's simple as this. K State is 5-2 in conference play. Texas is 4-3. They lose to KU. They go to 4-4. We beat West Virginia. What? Okay, then do the one you actually like. I don't care.
Damn, are they gonna get out of this round? Look at that. That's some power, boy. Trying to run the whole fight. Get him. Trying to run the whole fight. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Get him out of there, man. Get him out of there. Yes, sir. Look at that. That's some power, boy. I think it.
What? Ew. What do you mean? What are you trying? No, here, just so wait. Go to the ESPN app or the thing. Go to the ESPN Twitter page and just go to college football or NCAA football. And what you can do is just go to standings and you can go by you can look at conferences and go to your conferences. You can break down each conference, the if you want, or break down the major ones: ACC, Big Ten, Big 12, the Pac-12, and the SEC. We'll break down the college football playoff. We'll go to rankings, which will be, which will be. And if you want, you can go to NFL scores or college football scores. You can break down a lot of the games, the main ones today that had some big impact on some other stuff as well. Good.
Bet your girl can't beat my girl. I think Izzy a little shook for this one. He all business tonight, man. Yeah, that's scary. He all business. He ain't coming out dancing. Look at that. That's power, boy. Ooh. Excuse me. Why is it that
I left my PC on for
My one-handed catches in the rain to draw attention. I was slipping and still catch.
Seeing my stage for the first time.
This is gonna be insane. This is not real. This is why the fuck do I have to use all these other pieces of shit guns in Modern Warfare 2 just to unlock the one gun I want?
Okay, I will actually make that comment. I hate that. Or like certain attachments you can't use because you have to get with a certain gun. I don't like that. That is shitty fucking ways for COD. I will say that, but you know, I don't know. I'm off of it right now. I'm good. Yep. No, you're good. I got you. Alrighty. So we got, let's see here. So I guess the biggest, we could say the biggest team to lose today in the top 10 for sure was Oregon, losing to 25th ranked Washington at home today. LSU survived Arkansas. Bama beat Old Miss. Clemson beat Louisville. So if you look at it, we got, let's see here, one rank number one. They that was Georgia. They beat Mississippi State. We got 2 would be Ohio State. They beat Indiana. 3 is Michigan. They beat Nebraska. 4 TCU beat Texas. 5 is Tennessee. They beat Missouri. 6 is Oregon. They lost. So that'd be one team in the top 10 so far. 7 LSU beat Arkansas. 9 Alabama beat 11 Old Miss. 10 Clemson beat Louisville. I'm assuming 11, 12, and 13 were on buys, maybe. Okay, I guess number 8 USC beat Colorado on Friday night. Let's see here. We got 14 Penn State beat Maryland. 15th ranked North Carolina beat Wake Forest. 16th ranked NC State lost to Boston College. 22nd ranked UCF beat 17th ranked Tulane. Notre Dame, 20th ranked, beat Navy. 21 ranked Illinois lost to Purdue. Florida State, 23rd ranked, beat Syracuse. And 24 ranked Kentucky lost to Vanderbilt. 19th ranked Kansas State beat Baylor. 12th ranked UCLA. My bad, I was not paying attention to that. 19th ranked K-State beat Baylor. 12th ranked UCLA right now is in a battle with Arizona, currently live. 13th ranked Utah beat Stanford. So we have currently one game from what it looks like remaining playing in the top 25, and that's UCLA and Arizona. Arizona is actually currently driving to try to take the lead, but we'll keep you posted on that one. So if we look at the rankings here, I gotta make sure, because let's see, 1 played Mississippi State, Ohio State played Indiana, Michigan played, who held it? Nebraska, TCU played Texas, Tennessee played Missouri, Oregon played Washington, LSU played Arkansas, USC played Colorado, Alabama played Old Miss, Clemson played Louisville. 11 played Alabama. 12 UCLA is currently playing. 13 Utah played Stanford. 14 Penn State played Maryland. 15th ranked North Carolina played Wake Forest. 16th ranked NC State played Boston College and lost. Tulane played UCF. Texas played TCU. K-State played Baylor. I'm just going through the teams that are ranked to make sure they all played this week. So yeah, the entire top 25 for the college football playoff rankings played this weekend. So everybody played. Looks like if you go by how it looks right now, 1, 2, 3, and 4 won. So I would say the top 4 does not change. I would for sure on that. I guess they maybe could be weird and put Tennessee over TCU because of Tennessee blowing out Missouri, but TCU barely beating Texas, and I think Texas is overrated, but that's me. They could do that. They could be weird like that, but I don't think the top 4 changes at all. I think Oregon will drop. LSU is going to climb probably to 6. I think Bama goes to 8, maybe 7. I could see them maybe having them climb USC because of them beating Old Miss, but I don't know for sure on that. It's up to them, obviously, but I don't think they will, but I could see it because they're Alabama. But, yeah, so 11, Ole Miss will drop. Their season's not over, but any of their SEC chances are over because, the SEC championship game and the ACC championship game are officially set with teams. The Big 12 championship game could be decided as early as next weekend. They just need a few outcomes to happen. Um, the Pac-12 one is I don't. It's probably that'll probably literally be to the end of the weekend. The Big Ten will be. I mean, the Big Ten East. I think if I remember correctly, yeah, the Big Ten East is literally Ohio State or Michigan. That'll come down to whoever gets in that last game. Whoever wins that game at the end of the year will get in for them. The Big Ten West is going to probably come down to the very end because it's literally a four-way tie right now for first place with Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, and Purdue. They're all 4-3 in conference play, and they don't matter because Michigan, Ohio State's going to win the Big Ten anyways. But yeah, let's see here. We got. So what games do you think we what do you think we should break down, Tiger? Just break down all the top. I mean, we could break down all the top 25 games if you want. I didn't watch all of them obviously because I was at work, but I seen glimpses of them and highlights of them. I guess what we could do if you want, we'll start it off. We'll break down, I guess the exciting, anticipating games of the day. I did see glimpses of the Alabama Ole Miss game. Alabama won 30-24. I think Ole Miss was leading at half, 17-14, and Alabama outscored them 16-7 in the second half, shut them out in the fourth quarter. I know Ole Miss drove down the field and threw an incomplete pass on fourth down and I think 16 at the Alabama 20 on the last play of the game. So, yeah, Alabama goes to 8-2 and 5-2 in the SEC. That keeps their supposed playoff hopes alive, I guess, but I don't think so. I don't believe they will even get in. But let's see here. We got that was probably one of the more anticipated games of the day because of the rankings, I guess. TCU and Texas was game day. That's where they went for game day. I don't know why they went there personally, but I'm not gonna slander anybody, but they went there for TCU and Texas. TCU won 17-10. Kind of a really bad game, honestly. If you like offense, it was not offensive filled at all. It was literally fucking 10. It was 3-0 at halftime, and TCU has one of the better offenses in the country. Actually, one of the best. And yeah, and the final that was 17-10. That game was more defensive filled game. What's one you want to talk about, Tiger? Yeah. let's see here. We got hmm. Um, I know. Let's see, because we know the SEC championship game is gonna be Georgia and LSU. The the ACC's in North Carolina and Clemson. The Big 12 could be, like I said, decided as early as next weekend if K State beats West Virginia and KU beats Texas. That'll be TCU and K State will get a rematch. The Pac-12, I gotta look at the standings. I believe it's Oregon and currently USC because I know the Pac-12 did get rid of their divisions for some fucking weird reason. I don't know why. Um, I mean, that's how the Big 12 does it, but that's because the Big 12 doesn't have enough teams in the conference to do divisions. But they will starting next year. But I don't think they're going to do divisions anyways. So right now it's USC Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game, which there is so much that could change in that conference because Utah's got to play Oregon next weekend at 9 o'clock on ESPN. Very, very could get game day. Um, yeah, Oregon's got to play Utah at home on the road, or no, at Oregon. My bad. Um, let's see here. Who does USC play? Oh, USC plays UCLA, who is also a top 12 team and could get in. Well, I know it'll come down to the end of the year for sure because USC's got two tough games remaining. They got UCLA and Notre Dame left, and I think most definitely. Yeah. A team to watch out for here, and I know they probably need quite a bit to happen. Is Washington? They're 8-2, 5-2. It's sitting there right there. They need a couple, maybe a team or two to lose, but they got Colorado a favorable final two. Probably Colorado, the worst team in the Pac-12, and Washington State, who's been I don't know what their record is. I think they're 6-4, so they're okay. Not great, but they're okay. So I think I'll make the prediction here. I think the Pac-12. I don't know if it can. I don't know if it can be. I think it can be settled this next coming weekend if some teams win. I think if USC wins, are in. I think, and I think if Oregon was to lose to Utah, I think Utah would get in. I think because they'd have the tiebreaker over them. But Utah also has a tiebreaker over fucking USC as well. And then or USC would if they were to go on to beat Oregon. But I just wanted to let you know on an update here. Arizona took the lead on UCLA with 6:30 to go. So if UCLA was to lose that game, it probably all but eliminates them. I would guess it would probably they'd be close. They'd have to win out and need a lot of teams ahead of them to lose because they'd have two losses in conference play. So they would literally need like to win and then like they would need they would need to win against USC. Need either whoever to win Oregon or Utah, and then they need to win their next game as well. And they need a lot to happen if they end up losing to Arizona. Um, um, Yes, yeah. So we'll talk about the ACC right now, actually. So your actually your ACC championship game, sorry, has already it's already official because there's only 2 games left. So we'll have Clemson versus North Carolina in the ACC championship game, whenever December 3rd, I believe is when it is. Um, yeah. So mhm. Are you good? North Carolina is 7. They're number 20. The only argument you could really make, well, nah. I mean, the only argument you really could make for North Carolina, I guess, is they really haven't played anybody that's like fucking difference maker, really great. I guess. I mean, the Wake's pretty good. Wake's pretty solid. I mean, they have 4 losses, but you know what? They're better than their record. Honestly, I firmly believe that. I mean, they got NC State, which is a rivalry game at the end of the year. Who they're pretty solid with Devin Leary, I believe his name at quarterback. But if I had to say who I believe would win that game, I would take North Carolina because I think North Carolina has the best quarterback in the country in Drake May, who's literally only a freshman, and I also believe North Carolina has. I think they're just better than Clemson overall. I don't like Clemson. I think Clemson's extremely overrated. I think DJ Uiagalelei is not very good. I mean, yes, he had a good game today, pretty solid game, I think. I have to look at the stats. I don't know how good he did, but I know he 19, 27, 185 yards and a touchdown. He had okay, solid day, but I still would take Drake May in North Carolina. No, probably not. They're too far. They would need a. I mean, they would need a crazy amount to happen ahead of them, which I don't see that happening. Probably no. They would get a New Year's Six bowl for sure. They would they would probably play. I gotta remember the ACC's bowl games here. But they would probably play in like the Fiesta Bowl, I may or something. I don't remember their bowl games. Maybe like the Cotton Bowl, or they'd play in the winners New Year's Six bowl for the ACC championship game, whatever that would be. I don't know. I'd have to look at the bowl games for each conference because I know the Big 12 gets the loser of the I think the winner of the or the loser or the winner I think it's the loser of the I think it's the okay. I got how do I say this? I think it's the winner of the Big 12 championship game plays the loser of the SEC championship game. So if like K State was to win the Big 12, if they get there, and the loser is LSU, K State would play LSU in the Sugar Bowl. I believe that's how it works. That's what I was told. I'm not for sure on that, 100%, but I'd have to look into it. I could probably actually look that up real fast how that works. But yeah, we'll move on. Um, oh, you're good. We'll look into the. Oh, god damn it! I typed that in correctly, but um, we'll move on to the Big 12 if you want to. All right, and that's obviously where my team's in, but oh, go ahead. TCU played Tech, I believe so, if I remember correctly. It was a higher scoring game. Well, no, K State was predicted. They were actually predicted to finish. I think it was fourth or fifth. I'd have to look again, but but the Big 12, I would with it. I mean, which I had way higher expectations than that. If they finished, they went out 9-3. I said they'd go. That's what I said. They'd probably their high would be about 9-3. I honestly, if you want me to be completely honest, I expected K State to be in the Big 12 championship game, and that's not me being, a biased fan by any means. I completely expected it. Um, but I also didn't expect teams like Oklahoma to not be that great this year. If you would have told me K State would have went 3-1 against Oklahoma State, Texas, and Baylor, I would have completely just not believing that. And that's what they done that this year. They went 3-1 against those teams, with the only loss being Texas. And but that's pretty impressive. And but yeah, so the big like we were talking about the Big 12 championship game could be determined by the outcomes of next week's game. If K State beats West Virginia on the road, which we have the game times for those, but and then if KU beats Texas at home, then K State will play TCU in the Big 12 championship game. Whether they lose their last game to KU or not, which they are not going to. I mean, I hope they don't. But yeah. So if they were to win and Texas beat KU, which I likely see that happening, then K State would have to beat KU to get in because Texas has the tiebreaker over K State since they beat K State. But currently, right now, K State's in sole possession of second place. They just need to take care of their business, and win their games. TCU's already in, so they could lose out and still get in because they're undefeated right now and undefeated in conference play. But yeah, we'll keep discussing that in just one second. But I actually have right now. I have the bowl game. I believe I have the bowl games. So for like the tie-ins for the conferences. So the main bowl games. So so how it would go like this is so the Sugar Bowl would be versus an SEC opponent is the Big 12, and besides the team that gets in the playoff or something if TCU was to get in, but they're not going to because they'd have to win out. Would be the highest ranked available Big 12 team, if not the Big 12 champion. So like K State wins the Big 12 championship, they're going to play in the Sugar Bowl against an SEC team. Then the Valera Alamo Bowl would be against the Pac-12 team, which that's like the second best conference or the second best bowl game. That'd probably be the loser of the conference championship game, TCU or K-State, whoever gets in. Then there's the Cheez-It Bowl versus an ACC opponent, would be the third best. So that'd be probably where like Texas or Baylor would end up. KU would probably end up, I would say, in the Liberty Bowl, probably. That's where I would assume they would get in, probably, because if you look at the standings of the Big 12 as it speaks, it goes by where they're at currently. So first, if I'm not counting K-State and TCU, but Oklahoma State would get in at the moment would be the Texas or the Cheez-It Bowl. Baylor would be the Texas Bowl. Texas would be the Liberty Bowl. KU, oh my God, KU wouldn't even get in the fucking guaranteed rate bowl. So KU would be in like the Armed Forces Bowl or the First Responders Bowl at the moment. If you go by the way it works by the rankings of like the standings of the bowl games, if that's how I'm seeing that correctly. When was that posted? When was that posted? Just I'm just asking because it'll obviously be updated tomorrow with the outcomes of today's games. You could probably, if you back up on the browser, you could probably see. So it was last weekend. Okay. So that means they have Georgia winning the SEC and Ohio State winning the Big Ten and also beating Michigan, and then TCU winning the Big 12 and well, well no, they would be the best Group of Five team with the best record. Very good. Um, um, that's actually a that's actually a bitter rivalry. That would actually be fucking funny, honestly. But no. So yeah, you're good. You can continue for a minute. They could get to a bowl game. They need to win one of their final two remaining to get a bowl game. They're 5-5, I believe. Mm, they're number one. I have no real issue. I mean, like I said, it'll obviously change tomorrow with the outcomes of today's games. But that's, I mean, I would not. If I was a K State fan, I would not want to play North Carolina just because of the offensive style, and I would not want to deal with Drake May. Oh, God help me. I don't want that matchup, honestly. I'm just, it's whatever. I mean, whoever we play is whoever we play. I mean, I don't believe North Carolina is a matchup nightmare for K State. I think maybe Drake May is a tough matchup because he's a really talented quarterback, but I would not fear that matchup by any means. But I mean, so I will make a comment. It kind of sucks because I don't like the rule, but even though they did go to 6-3, they won't be able to go to a bowl game. So in the first year of joining a Division One or whatever, you can't go to a bowl game, which is well, no, it's not even about it's not about the stats. It's just because it's an eligibility thing. So actually, right now, I just want to let you know, or Arizona and UCLA is in the final 15 seconds. Arizona's up by 6 right now, and UCLA has the ball at the Arizona, I believe, 29-yard line with 10 seconds to go. So we might have a massive upset because it's a one it's a one loss UCLA team gonna possibly lose to a 3-6 Arizona team. Wait, sorry, repeat that. Repeat that. I'm a dumbass. I didn't. Oh, just to not to interrupt you, but just to let you know, I believe. Wait, maybe not. Continue. I'll just continue. I'll let you know in a minute. I would, me personally, I would flip flop that, but that's me because I would much rather play CJ or Blake Corum and or JJ McCarthy and Blake Corum and then CJ Stroud because I don't know. I think there's a chance that Ohio State gets all their really good guys back healthy for the Big Ten championship game. I, and just to break it, just to let you know, sorry to interrupt again. UCLA just lost to Arizona. Arizona. Yeah, yeah. Well, not completely, but they need to win next weekend against USC, and then they need the winner or loser of. Well, actually, timeout. Did Utah play UCLA? They did. Okay, so UCLA played Utah earlier in the year, and they beat them. So realistically, if I look at this correctly, they need Utah to beat Oregon because Oregon beat UCLA, and then they need to beat UCLA. So then UCLA. So right then it'd be UCLA and Utah going into the final week. I believe, if I say that correctly. I will say a team nobody is talking about is Washington because they are 5-2, and they did lose to UCLA, so it's kind of hard for them. It'd be really hard because they don't have the tiebreaker over UCLA, so they would need UCLA to lose. They would need several teams to lose. It'd be really hard for them to get in. But Washington is having a very solid season. Because it's just tough. If you look at they need they almost need they need USC to. And if I looked at that correctly, it's probably correct. Uh, they have Oregon and it's probably hard for Washington to get in. Yeah. No, I am. No, it's and then the SEC is LSU. So, according to Reddit, college football, and Twitter, the teams that are still in the playoff contention is Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, TCU, Tennessee, LSU, and USC. Hard to imagine anyone outside of that group getting in. Best chances would probably be Bama, but they would need Tennessee probably to lose to one of their next two. They would need USC to lose. And they would need Michigan or Ohio State to lose. They need some stuff to happen for them to have a chance. TCU lose. But I mean, they're the only even realistic chance anyone outside of the teams I just said that has any chance. The top. You're right. The top four will not change. I mean, maybe. Let me tell you this real quick. Maybe. I mean, they might flip flop TCU and Tennessee. That'd be the only thing I could see them changing in the top five, but I doubt it because TCU. It was a low scoring game, but they did win, and against I mean Texas to me sucks, overrated as fuck. But I mean, a win's a win. I mean, they could if they want to count the ass beating they gave Missouri, then sure. But so six, Oregon will drop. LSU will go up to six. USC will go up to seven. They might. No, they won't. They won't go over LSU. And then Alabama will go to eight. Clemson will go to nine. Ole Miss will drop. UCL, Utah will go up. Yeah, they won. They'll go up. North Carolina won, they'll go up. NC State won. NC State lost, my fault. They'll go down. Tulane lost, they'll go down. Texas lost, they'll go down. K State won, they'll climb up to probably back to the top 15, top 14. That's awesome. Yes, they did. So they'll probably follow K State. Illinois lost, UCF won, Florida State won, Kentucky won, and Washington lost. So yeah, they lost to Vanderbilt. They lost to Vanderbilt. Yeah, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt. Well, that. You know, I mean, I will say give Vandy props. I mean, the Vandy fucking was they ended a 29 6 or 26 game SEC losing streak. That's awesome for them. I mean, that's probably got to be tough. They're 4-6, 1-5, or I believe 4-6, 1-5 in conference. They win their next two, they could get to a bowl game. I mean, it's possible, but I don't see Vandy winning. I mean, maybe one more because they got to play Florida, which I mean that's winnable. Florida's not great, and Tennessee's tough at home, but I mean maybe Vandy shows up for their senior day and upsets Tennessee, which would be absolutely hilarious. But I don't. Yeah. So the only teams that can't get into a bowl game for the SEC is Texas A&M, which is really surprising since they were literally a sixth ranked in the team in the country at the beginning of the year, which is crazy to see that they're 3-7 and not very good. I mean, they're not very good offensively. They suck. And I mean, Auburn fired their coach. Just not. They're trying to finish positive. Maybe somehow could pull off an upset against Bama. It's a rivalry game. Shit happens, but I don't see that. Um, yeah. Um. Yep. Um. So you keep looking at here. We got not the Sun Belt. Um. Anyways, trying to They've had some. That's a tough game, which they won. Anyways, so Arkansas has Old Miss, and I didn't look at the. Oh, Missouri, I believe, is their last game. That they need to win one of two or 1-1 to get to the bowl. Mississippi State's already in a bowl. Ole Miss is in a bowl. Bama's bowl. LSU bowl. Vanderbilt needs to win out, which is gonna be hard because they got Tennessee left on their schedule. Mizzou's got to win out. South Carolina's bowl eligible. Florida's bowl eligible. Kentucky, Tennessee, and Georgia are all bowl eligible. Let's see here. We go to the AC. We'll go to the Big Ten here. Michigan's bowl. Ohio State's bowl eligible. Penn State, Maryland. Michigan State needs to win a game. Rutgers had to win 2. Indiana will not make a bowl. Will. Illinois will. Iowa will. Minnesota will. Wisconsin we need to win. Nebraska and Northwestern will not make bowl games this year, so there's 3 teams in the Big Ten that are currently guaranteed not getting one. Let's see here. We'll move on to the Pac-12. So yeah, USC gets one. Oregon, Utah, UCLA, Washington. Washington, Oregon State, Washington State. Currently, Arizona needs to win out. Arizona State needs to win out, and they're the only other team that has any other chance. Arizona State's out. Colorado, Cal, and Stanford will not make bowl games this year. Jesus Christmas, the Pac-12 sucks. God. Besides, literally, I mean, honestly, I'm not discrediting Oregon State or Washington State. They've been pretty solid this year. They kind of been the middle teams in the conference, but besides that, there's only 5 teams that are any decent in that conference. Which, if I want to be truthful with you, I don't think the only 2 that I think could survive in the Big 12, maybe Utah, maybe 3 would be Utah, Oregon, and UCLA. But that's my own opinion. Because I think the Pac-12 sucks personally because it's overrated. We'll move on to the Big 12. So TCU is gonna get a bowl. K-State will get a bowl. Oklahoma State, Baylor, Texas. Texas Tech needs a win. KU's gonna get a bowl game. West Virginia needs 2 wins. They need to win out. That means they gotta win next week, and they won't. But we're not gonna talk about that. Oklahoma needs a win in one of their final 2 games. Iowa State needs to win. So there is a scenario if some things happen, every team in the Big 12 could get a bowl game, which I don't believe that's going to happen, but it would be kind of funny if it did. But that'd also revolve in my team losing next weekend, which that's not going to happen. I don't give 2 fucks. But no, but then we go to the ACC. Did I look at that already? No. So Clemson will get a bowl. Florida State will. Syracuse, NC State, Louisville, Wake. Wow. So every team but one in the Atlantic will actually go to a bowl game. That's impressive. That means that's 2, 4, that's 6 teams out of the 7 in that one division. Damn. Yeah, North Carolina will get a bowl. Duke, Pitt, Miami needs a win. Georgia Tech needs 2, and so the only 2 teams that have any chance left of getting a bowl game is Georgia Tech and Miami. Virginia and Virginia Tech are out of not getting a bowl game this year. Wow, they suck. Anyways, Well, so the Big 12 normally, well, currently with OU, Texas leaving, but before that, it's normally every year OU, Baylor, Oklahoma State. I think it's weird because I don't I don't consider it. Texas to me, everybody's like Texas is back. Texas to me hasn't been back in so many years. They went to the Big 12 championship 1 year and got lucky and lost to OU. But it's right now, dude. It's the Big 12 right now with OU struggling, Texas not being great, Baylor being not that great either, Oklahoma State having a down year, but it's not really down year, but not as good as year as they could have had. But they are. It's the Big 12 right now is being ran by K State and TCU at the moment, which I mean it's obvious because of the standings, but I mean, but those are the two best teams by far. You know, if you just look at it straightforward, those are the two best teams by far. Like, yes, we have those. So, so with the scenarios to doing for the Big 12, K State has tiebreakers over Oklahoma State and Baylor. That's why if they win and if they win and if Texas loses, it don't matter and it don't matter because one, there's a game left. They'll be 6-2, and 1 and 2 they have the tiebreakers over Oklahoma State and Baylor anyway. So the only way K State would not get in is if they lose out, which that's not going to happen. But you know, but if they lose out, you know, they if they lost out, they would need like literally probably everybody but Oklahoma State, Baylor, and Texas to lose out, which is technically not even possible because, well, I mean it is, but because Baylor plays Texas, Baylor plays Texas still. Oklahoma State, I think plays Baylor. No, they play West Virginia at the end of the year. So, okay, so yeah, pretty much K State would have to lose out to not get in, which I mean I don't see that happening. They are a way better team than West Virginia, hands down. I mean KU's it's a rivalry game, I guess. That's the only thing I would ever say to it. And that's not me discrediting KU at all. They've had a surprisingly great year, you know, but their defense is atrocious. It's very bad. They have a very solid offense, but their defense is terrible, and that's their literal downfall. Is their defense? If they had an average defense, they honestly might be better than 6-4 personally, and I'll even admit that. They probably would. They probably, honestly, an average defense, they probably beat TCU. No. They probably beat no. They probably beat Texas Tech for sure. They beat Oklahoma maybe, even that too. Like, that's what KU's issue is their defense isn't very good. They've given up 304 points this year, which is literally horrible. K-State's given up 175, which is second in the conference behind Iowa State, which they've given up 167. K-State scored 306. Yeah, K-State's got West Virginia. If we can look, what we can do, I guess, is look at the Big 12 slate next week. If you want, what we can do is go to the Big 12. We'll also look at the games next weekend as well. K-State's got, we'll not start with K-State, but we'll start with TCU. TCU's got Baylor on the road in Waco. You know, that's going to be an interesting game. Baylor's won through their last 4. I mean, they lost tonight, but, you know, Baylor's still tough, play good defense. Their offense is questionable. They're going to have to play defense in that game to win that game, which is very possible. They have the talent to keep up with Baylor. Texas Tech and Iowa State is going to be, it's in Iowa State. It's a cold game. I don't know if they've determined they already. What am I saying? I could probably find the times, but I believe that game's a night game if I remember correctly. I know Texas Tech, Iowa State. That game's for Texas Tech to go bowl eligible, and Iowa State to keep their bowl eligibility alive. K-State. Oh, what am I even looking at? I am stupid, Tiger. I am so dumb. I did not look at that correctly. I am an idiot. TCU Baylor is on a Friday night. I didn't even notice that. I'm sorry. That's a Friday night. According to ESPN, it's on a Friday. It's on Friday, November 18th on 11 o'clock on. Well, that's according to. I'll look into it more, but I really don't care about that. TCU or K State, West Virginia is a 1 o'clock kick on ESPN Plus, which that just makes me depressed. Why is it on ESPN Plus? Texas and KU is 2:30 on Fox Sports 1. I don't ever cheer for KU, but I'm hoping KU wins because that'll if K State wins and KU wins, K State goes to the championship game. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma is on ABC for Bedlam. That's a rivalry game. That anything's possible in rivalry games. Yeah, I mean, what game Tiger for the Big 12 slate next weekend really intrigues you? Okay, it is. By the way, the TC game is on a Saturday. I don't know why it says Friday on ESPN. That's stupid, but you're good. Baylor. Okay, alrighty. I think that I think the intriguing game for me off the Big 12 slate, I think it's KU Texas, just because KU's had Texas's number the past some several years. They haven't beat them every year, but if you go look down in history, KU has um, they beat Texas last year. I'd have to remember. Did they beat them the year before? I don't remember honestly. But they beat them the year before. They've been really competitive with Texas, and I think KU really could win this game. I think they gotta really stop the run, which I don't I don't know if they can because their defense is not very good. Um, I think if Jalen Daniels plays for KU, which Hunter will be at that game, um, I think they got a real chance of winning because Jalen Daniels is very talented, and but I think I want to pick KU because I want K State to get to the Big 12 championship game. But I'll go with the more realistic pick. I'll go with Texas. I think too much Bijan Robinson he's just a difference maker. Too much for it'll just be too much for him. If they can contain Bijan, and make Quinn Ewers throw the ball, which he can, but he's not been that great this year. I think KU's got a shot. I will say if Jalen Daniels plays, he will keep KU in the game with his offense, but their defense has got to make some plays, force some turnovers, do something, maybe a special teams touchdown, something, to throw Texas off balance. But I'll go with Texas realistically, but I want KU to win, but I'll go with Texas. I'll go Texas with a final of. I'll go with a shootout. I'll go like 49-42 or something. Yeah, I'll go with that. Oh man, let me look at that. I don't. I'd have to look at the slate for the SEC. I don't know. Fuck. Yeah. Okay. Out of all those, from what I heard, I don't think I heard them all, but I'd say the most intriguing one here is probably I'll go with Georgia, Kentucky, just because I don't know. I mean, they're I hate when the SEC does this and they play these turd teams at the end of the year. I hate it because it's like a free win unless the team you're playing is decent or you just suck. It's a free win. Like I mean, Auburn, Western Kentucky is kind of that's a game Auburn could lose. I will say that because Western Kentucky is 6-4. I don't know if they won today or not, but they're pretty solid. Um, it's I don't like it because it's to me it's like a pointless game because it's just not. I mean, Tiger, if you wanted to go to this game, you literally could get tickets as low as $4. But I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know. I mean, South Carolina, Tennessee is pretty intriguing, I guess. I actually, you know what? No, that'll be. Hmm, that'll be my game. That's gonna be my most intriguing game, I think, because it's in South Carolina. That's a tough place to play. I mean, yes, Tennessee's really good, but it's still a tough environment. That'll be my intriguing game. I think Georgia dominates Kentucky. Bama does Bama things. Mississippi State wins. A&M wins. I would laugh if they lost. Vanderbilt, Florida. I would say Florida probably, but I would pick Vandy just because it's fun. I think they'd be funny if they won. Auburn should win. Should, that's the big word here. Old Miss, Arkansas. That's an intriguing game because Arkansas plays some really good defense. And if KJ Jefferson would have played today, they would have probably beat LSU. Um, Missouri should win, and LSU should take care of business. The SEC just isn't really intriguing this weekend because it's the weird it's the weekend they play nobodies really, I guess. But we'll move on from the SEC because it's just it's just that week for the SEC. We'll go we'll go to the Pac because the Pac-12. So yeah, we'll go to the Pac-12 next if you want, Tiger. Oh, by the way, yeah, do we have any games on the Friday night or something? Just because sometimes they play games on Friday nights. Oh, so okay, so they got all Saturday games. They got USC, UCLA, Colorado, Washington, Stanford, Cal, Washington State, Arizona State, Oregon State, and Utah and Oregon. I'll pay my intriguing game here is Utah Oregon. That probably will be yours too. Maybe not. I have no idea. But obviously, winner of that probably gets is in the Pac-12 championship game. I would say because they would have only one loss in conference. The other would have two, and they would need some things to happen, and they'd also have the tiebreaker. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with that game. I'm gonna go with Utah on the road here. I think Utah is better defensively. I think they play a more physical style of football, which a lot of teams in the pack can't handle. Um, I think too much physicality for Oregon, but I think it's a good game. All right. I could see that very much as well here. Hmm. Definitely. I'd probably go with Clemson just because they're at home and they have a really long home winning streak in conference play. But my game, I'm gonna pick here. I'm gonna go with Wake Forest and Syracuse. Just different change up here. Um, I think Wake's. I think it's gonna be a very good game. I think Syracuse has lost two in a row, I believe, or three in a row, and they need a win. I'm gonna go with Wake though. I think Wake's too much. Sam Hartman, too much for Syracuse, so I'll go with Wake Forest in that game. We'll do the Big Ten. Yep. So we got Penn State at Rutgers, Iowa at Michigan or at Minnesota, Northwestern at Purdue, Indiana at Michigan State, Illinois at Michigan, Wisconsin at Nebraska, and Ohio State at Maryland. I'm gonna go with Illinois Michigan just because it's the best looking game. I would say Illinois lost two in a row now. They need to try to get a win because a loss really hurts them and kind of puts them in a tough spot for the conference championship game to get there for the SEC or the ACC, the ACC West, not ACC, Big Ten West. Jesus God, I can't talk. But I think Michigan will win. I think just too much Blake Corum, too much JJ McCarthy from Illinois. I think it'll be a good game. I'll go 23-17. I think another game to look out here is Iowa Minnesota. That's an intriguing matchup for the Big Ten West. They're both right there. That game was not for that one as well. I don't. Oh, let me look. I don't know if he. I don't know. I think he got hurt, but I am not. I think he did because I know he had a leg injury. Um, against I think it was Wisconsin. Let me see. I gotta find it. I don't know if. Oh, he did play today. Never mind. He did play, but he struggled tremendously against Penn State, which they're a solid team. But yeah, he did play, so he will play. that would be a shocker for college football. I mean, I guess anything's possible, but that would be. I don't see it. I mean, it could be a close game. It might be blowout. That game's it'll be a tight game or it'll be blowout. One of the two. I'm gonna go blowout. I just too much CJ Stroud for Maryland. I think they could probably score with Ohio State. Maybe I don't know how good their offense is. I really haven't paid attention to it this year, but I think too much CJ Stroud. I'll go with Ohio State like 35-17. I'm a stupid tiger. What did you say? I was doing something. Yep. Conference and go pick a game or something. Okay, let me go find the scores here. Not scores, but the thing where I can see the games. Week 12. Okay. Let's see here. I wish this showed fucking all the major, not the top 25. Like just put FBS. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. Holy God, there is no way there's that many games on Friday. It's because they haven't had to be announced yet. So I'll just pick Saturday games. Hmm. I don't know. I mean, I wish they play this because I know the game I'd say, but they don't play it till the last game of the year. I don't know. Fudge, dude. I'm trying to find one for you. Okay. You know what? Screw it. I'll just be random here. I like watching their style of offense, and they've been having a really surprising year. I'm gonna go with Army, and Yukon. Because I just couldn't find one to be honest that I really cared about, but this I guess looked the most intriguing because UConn is surprisingly 6-5. They're going to a bowl game. I don't even know when the last time they went to a bowl game was. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I have no idea. I'd honestly have to look into that. But like last year, I think they won like one game. I don't even know if they won a game last year. I mean, I guess it's like a huge step up for them. They were been like the literal bottom feeder of college football for years now, and I mean that's awesome for UConn to go to a bowl game. I think they're an independent. No, they're in the American, right? I can't remember. Shit, no, they're not. They're an independent, I believe, because I think they got UConn. Yep, they're an independent. Okay, so with UConn, it's actually 5-1 at home this year. They started out the year 1-4. Oh wow. Okay. Well, they've had some tough games: Syracuse, Michigan, NC State. They tried scheduling some big teams, just credibility, I guess. Um, they beat Central Connecticut, which is actually not even a bad win. They beat Boston College, which is a Power 5 win. That's hilarious. They actually, oh wow, they upset today. 8-2 Liberty, or 8-1 at the time. That's awesome. That's awesome for those guys. And UConn, they're not very good ever, but they good for them to go to a bowl game. It's awesome. For them to go to a bowl game, yeah.
In Army, the reason I said Army is I like watching Army. I guess I like watching their style. The options awesome. They're not. They're 3-6. They need to win out to go to a bowl game. I mean, that's very doable. I mean, let's see what they got. They got. I mean, that's very doable. Army could win out to go to a bowl game. They got UConn, UMass, and Navy, which Navy's not been that great this year. Um, yeah, they could definitely win out and go 6-6 and get to a bowl game. Um, I think they'll. I would. I want to. I'm gonna go with UConn. I think because they look like they're the better team. Maybe they're not. I don't know. But yeah, I'll go with UConn here. I think UConn wins. But I think if Army was to win, they would probably win out and go to a bowl game because they have UMass, who is horrible, and Navy, who is not that great this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. That's gonna be my more intriguing game. I couldn't find one that I really liked, I guess, but that'll. Yes, I think. I think they are. Not for sure on that, but
So we will talk. All right, next we're gonna do the college football playoff rankings. We're just gonna break a little bit of it down. Believe we'll talk about where we think's where, and go into more in depth to it. I guess try to look at the complete rankings here. See who gets some votes in, who gets in the playoff rankings, who gets thrown out. So, like we talked about before, top four probably won't change. I guess it may. I don't know what would. I mean, Ohio State, or I don't, I don't know. I guess maybe it could change. I don't see why it could. I guess, but I think 1 through 4 stays. Tennessee stays. Oregon drops. LSU goes up, USC goes up, Bama goes up, Clemson goes up, Ole Miss drops, UCLA drops, Utah goes up, Penn State goes up, North Carolina goes up, NC State goes down, Tulane goes down, Texas go down, K-State goes up, Notre Dame goes up, Illinois goes down, UCF goes up, Florida State goes up. Yep, they won today. Kentucky goes down, and Washington goes up. So yeah, that's my thought on it. If I had to predict an exact spot, I mean, so teams are getting votes. I don't know how to look at that on here. I don't know who's getting votes, but I'm not worried about that really. If I had to say maybe who would go where, I would say 1's Georgia, 2's Ohio State, 3's Michigan, 4's TCU. 5 would be Tennessee, 6 is LSU, 7 would be USC, 8 would be Alabama, 9 is Clemson. I think 10 could be. I think Utah will jump to 10. I don't know how they determine losses personally. I mean, I think Ole Miss drops to at least 15, 16 personally with an L. But the thing about that is, dude, is a lot of teams lost behind them, so they really won't. They might not go back as far. I think Penn State and Utah will jump them. I think North Carolina gets up there. I think K-State jumps. I think K-State leapfrogs a bunch of teams. Probably gets to at least 15. I would say. What do you think? K-State gets to 15 probably at the minimum. I mean, because I think K-State's personally better than USC and UCLA and Ole Miss. Maybe Ole Miss is closer than actually I guess maybe I'd give credit for, but I would say they're definitely better than UCLA. I think K-State, I think K-State goes to at least 15 for sure. But to me, so I guess that means Ole Miss and UCLA would probably go to 16 and 17. Texas will drop out. Notre Dame will climb. UCF will climb. Florida State will climb. Kentucky will climb, or go down. Actually, my fault. They lost. Washington will go up. I wish I could see who has getting some votes because then I probably could, tell you. What do you think, Tiger? Who do you think is going to make the biggest leaps in the rankings? I think I don't know. I mean, so wait, let me look at this. So, 9. So 10. So if you look at 11, 11 and 12 lost. So I think if it goes by this, you just move them up. Utah will go to 11. Penn State will go to 12. North Carolina go to 13. K-State should go to 14 then, if that's the case. If they do it like that, which they won't because they're stupid, but the committee's dumb. That's how it should go. K-State should go to 14 in the college football playoff rankings. That's how they should be. They should be the 14th team in the country. Then I would probably put UCLA and Ole Miss at 15 and 16. I think Notre Dame could probably Well, Notre Dame should be 15 actually. I'll say that, and then 16, 17 would be UCLA or Ole Miss, however you want to order them. I think yeah. I think K State probably jumps at least to 14 for sure. I would be surprised if they jumped Utah and Penn State, especially Utah after their big win against Oregon. Penn State they may, I guess, but I don't see it. They won't jump North Carolina because North Carolina is 8-1 and K State's 6-7-3 now. Um, but yeah, what else do you think, Tiger? What do you think about the top 10 here? Yeah, which I just don't. I don't. I don't see how. I mean, I don't think they could do that because I think they would consider TCU beating a ranked Texas team over Tennessee dominating a pretty bad Missouri team. But I think this is kind of it was a good it was kind of a it was a good weekend for football, but like the top five kind of just didn't really do much because it didn't really flip because they all won. But if you look about six down, it changed a little bit. But yeah, it was a good weekend for college football for sure. And next week, I will say week 13, the last week of the year, will probably be a pretty crazy week, especially with it being it's rivalry week. A lot of rivalry teams play each other. You know, I mean, you got the Big Ten East championship. Whoever goes through the Big Ten East, Ohio State, Michigan play, which they will are no doubt get game day. I firmly believe they will. Um, you got a lot of big games. I think. I think I could see. I could see. I could see USC and Notre Dame, depending on what the records are of those teams at the time. That's very likely. I could see if Oregon State is 8-3 at the time, and Oregon's 9-2. That's very possible as well. I think Tulane Cincinnati is very possible because it'd be going more than likely going to be going to who's going to get the best G of 5, bowl game spot probably. I mean they got to win whoever wins the championship game, but yeah, we'll definitely see what happens with
I definitely agree with you. Um, so I will say we might I might depend I am depend I will talk to you more about it. But if you want, we could go live for the in podcast for the college football playoff ranking show on Tuesday night if you want to. Or we could recap it if you want. I don't care. That's fine. Uh, oh no, that you're pretty much correct. Hell, there is one sport coming up. I guess we could look at. Uh, so the World Cup actually starts the 20th. I think I'd have to look, but I know the U.S. plays the 21st against Wales, and I don't know what day that is of the week. I'd have to look, but I would definitely am gonna watch that. That's this month, like next week, Tiger. Yeah, 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 Oh, I'm off too. Wow. Okay, that's hilarious. So I will actually get to watch them play Wales on Monday. They play Wales on Monday. Then they play the big game against England on Friday. Then they play the 29th against Iran. On Monday or on Monday? Which game? I'm gonna try to watch. Most definitely. It's on Monday. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I'm not a big soccer person, but when it always comes to the World Cup, I like supporting, obviously the United States. Just maybe to give it like a little glance or recap, US one. No.